pains that they felt in the past, and they're going to be reluctant to move forward. But we're not. We're not going to be reluctant. We're not going to be fearful of getting it right, because we must. The number of gunshots we're seeing, the number of innocent people being shot, the failure of stopping the flow of guns in our city. As I was in Chicago last week, they removed 12,000 guns off the street of Chicago, and just a steady flow in, partnered with our federal lawmakers, meeting down in New Orleans with the mayor in Baton Rouge, talking about this, being in Washington, D.C., with the mayor of Washington, as we saw innocent people shot because they're homeless. This is a real fight, and it's not a philosophical one. We're placing these officers in harm's way to do a difficult job. And far too often we ask them to do the job and we send mixed messages. It's not going to be a mixed message under this administration. It's a clear message. Do it right. Don't violate the liberties of people, but go after those guns and those who are the trigger pullers and dangerous in our city. And that's what the commissioner and we have made it clear. You don't have to wonder what our position is. It is public safety and justice. You don't have to trade off between the two. And so I want to thank the commanding officer, Captain Moya, for doing an amazing job and here in his command. And this is the type of young captains we need that bring the right energy. Because trust me, it was not far too long ago that I bet you if you talk to Moya, he could tell you about some of the unfortunate experiences he had. So bringing those experiences and now coming here and running the command is going to say, this is how we get it right, and this is why we're going to continue to recruit from within our city. This great team here from this PSA 7, just days on the street, they have zeroed in on the issues of guns here in the Bronx. And the councilman and I talk about it over and over again, the number of guns, illegal guns that are on the street in this city. And then to add to the problem are ghost guns. It's a real problem. Now someone can sit in their apartment and manufacture a gun that can be used on our street. Every day, criminals are thinking of different ways to harm innocent New Yorkers. And we better be as thoughtful, creative, and use every method legally to respond to the threat that's on us. And so the key arrests that we wanted to point out and highlight on Friday, March 18th, this team responded to a 911 call of a woman shot on East 143rd Street. The PSA 7 NST officers identified the suspect and took appropriate action, and they were able to remove a .38 revolver defaced gun off the street by placing the individual under arrest. And on Saturday, March 12th, the individual was in possession of a loaded firearm. He was identified in part because of an intelligence alert from the PSA field intelligence team. We talk about this all the time, the role of social media. People are openly showing guns on social media, going after and threatening other people. Social media responsibility cannot continue to be ignored in this. This is what the Chicago Mayor Lightfoot stated, also what the Baton Rouge Mayor stated, also with the Mayor of Washington, D.C. We're all seeing the same pattern across our entire country. So the field intelligence team was able to put out the information. We were able to apprehend the individual with a loaded firearm. And so in 6 days since we launched this program, and at the police commissioner's leadership, we have made 31 arrests and 10 guns removed from our streets. 6 days, more than a gun a day was removed from our streets. And this is what precision policing is about. The failures of the past is we stopped anyone, searched anyone based on their ethnicity and based on the demographics or the zip code and where they may have lived. We're not doing that. We're not going to allow that to happen in our city. We're not going to break the law to enforce the law. We can have the balance that we are looking for by using precision policing. We're going to stop the river of violence that is feeding the sea of violence. And this team is damming one of those rivers with their activity. And we're going to expand these teams to 5 other precincts to protect our streets and our community. We're going to grow and continue to evaluate, determine that we're making the right fit, to have the right officers that are performing this dangerous assignment, but have the right mindset to do so. These new teams will be at Manhattan's 25th and 28th precincts, Brooklyn's 69th precinct, Queens 114th precinct, and Staten Island's 120th precinct. Not going to surrender our city to violence. It's not going to happen. And we're not going to be distracted. We're not going to allow all the naysayers that don't believe we can do our job correctly and legally to get in the way of keeping people safe. We're going to put violent people away. We're going to remove the guns off our street. And I say this over and over again, this team of officers, the commissioner and I, we need help. We need help. We need help from Washington. We need help on the state level. We need help. But with or without that help, we're going to make our city a safe city. We're going to do our job. This is the commitment and promise I gave to New Yorkers when I was a candidate, and this is what I'm going to live up to as the mayor of the city. Commissioner?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon. We can talk about the great work that's being done here, but we certainly have more work to do, and we know it. That is why we are rolling out more of these teams to be able to stem violence and gun possession in this city. Thank you for being here today. We told the people of New York that their police department, every one of us who serves them, would never stop fighting for their public safety and their quality of life, and we meant it. We said in one way or another we would approach this by rolling out our highly trained neighborhood safety teams with high training, high visibility, and a commitment to face the dangers that this city presents to them. To combine focused, intelligence-based policing with thorough and clear community engagement, as the mayor stated. We need our communities to assist us. We need them to tell us where the problems are and how we can better serve them. We need that engagement in the areas that need us the most. Today, I am proud to announce that in just the first days of their existence, the neighborhood safety team members have effected 31 arrests, as the mayor stated, including 10 for gun possession in 9 separate incidents. Vitally important is that 10 more illegal firearms have been taken off the streets of this city that will never be used to victimize another New Yorker. Let me be clear. Our courageous and dedicated NYPD officers are doing exactly what we asked them to do. Right out of the gate, they are relentlessly confronting crime and disorder with laser-like precision. They are going after and finding the relatively small number of criminals in our city who are responsible for the vast amount of violence in this city. What we're talking about today is the result of NST officers with that focused mission working in 25 different commands across the city. In addition to the illegal guns, the other arrests were for drug sale or possession, forgery, suspended or revoked driver's licenses, reckless endangerment, felony assault, criminal possession of a knife, and criminal trespass. Going deeper, of the 31 total arrests made in the last 6 days by the women and men of our neighborhood safety teams, 61% of those arrested had been previously arrested, most for a major felony. 39% have a history of narcotics-related arrests. 26% have a link to gang or crews, and 23% or more are on parole or probation. This is how the NYPD is reducing and working to eradicate gun violence across the city. These impressive results represent the next era of responsive, responsible crime fighting, built and strengthened by the neighborhood-specific concerns of the people who live and work here. Again, we need the community to assist us in our efforts. Together, we are identifying and pursuing the true drivers of crime in our city, those relatively few who are responsible for the most violence, and reinforcing our efforts to get them off our streets, building strong cases for prosecution, and holding them accountable for their actions. We will never stop fighting for New Yorkers, and we will never stop looking for effective ways to do so. I am exceedingly proud of our incredible officers who are out here facing danger every day and leading the way. Mr. Mayor, would you like to take some questions, I guess?
Yes. But first, we want to hear from our partner in government, an amazing councilman. Really appreciate you. Councilman, why don't you say a few words?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm excited to be here today with you in the South Bronx in my district, you as well, Police Commissioner. I'm going to be frank, regardless of what the naysayer needs. This is exactly what we needed. We needed a specialized neighborhood street team that will help reduce crime and take these guns off our streets. And just to hear the numbers, in 6 days, you've taken 10 guns off the street. That is awesome work, and that is exactly what communities like mine are asking for. And all I'm asking is our communities, if you see something, say something. We have to work together with our police department in order to decrease crime and get these violent criminals.
And they're saying they have concerns that the culture and the history of some of the similar units, anti-crime, plainclothes units, street crime units in the 90s, and some of the allegations, some of the excessive force incidents that we've seen, some of the deaths that we've seen, and they want to know, how are we sure that we won't see that this time around? And talk a little bit about the training, because they're saying it's more than just training, more so about the culture, if you will.
Yes, and this is my Warner Wolf moment. Let's go to the videotape. The legal aid was a partner with me when we talked about the over-abusiveness in law enforcement. Legal aid saw me testify in Floyd versus New York City Police Department, and the judge mentioned my testimony in her ruling. Legal aid is well aware of the advocacy of 100 blacks in law enforcement who care. I was an outsider, insider fighting to reform the city. Now I'm the mayor. This is my police department. So why would I spend 30-something years fighting for proper policing and then allow it to erode away? And so all I ask of the legal aid is to come join us, sit inside, analyze the video when we do our arrests, be a part of this evolution, because they have a role also. They have a role to make sure we have proper policing, and they have the role to stop the violence in our city. So the same level of thoughtfulness that they're having to make sure these guys do it right, let's make sure we get it right to stop this violence in our city. We've done it right. We have the training right. We did a recruitment correctly. We interviewed, we vetted. There were those who wanted to be part of this unit. They said, nope, you don't bring the qualifications that we believe for this specialized unit. We did everything that was needed to learn from the past to produce the product we needed that I committed to based on my life work and based on what I believe we need to do to keep our city safe.
This is a question for the mayor and the police commissioner. The statistics, the 31 arrests, the 10 guns in 6 days, what specifically did these teams do to affect these numbers that wouldn't have been done 2 weeks prior? And is it fair to say that these arrests may not have been made if these teams didn't exist?
I don't know that, and I don't want to, go in the area of hypotheticals. But what these officers are doing, they are zeroing in on the dangerous crews and gangs in the city. They're using their experience and knowledge. They are teaming up with our intelligence unit, such as if you see someone waving a gun on Facebook, now you are focusing on that. They are responding. The captain is telling them what areas there are known, areas where shootings are taking place. So they are specializing in understanding how to go and remove guns off our street. That's different from other officers carrying out. They focus on that, but they're carrying out so many other calls of service.
I'm just wondering if there's a specific example, like the Friday, March 18th woman shot, or the March 12th example, if there's something in that specific moment where it's like, this is what this team did differently.
Well, anytime you get a call of a shooting, officers are going to respond. These officers reviewing information and documents of who the gang members are, who the known trigger pullers. There's a small number of people committing these crimes. We keep saying this over and over again, and it's not resonating with people. This is not Miss Jones and Pastor so-and-so. There's a small number of people. The more knowledge these officers have of their community and their precinct, they're able to zero in when they hear that calls of shots fired, when that information comes over from our intelligence unit. So it's just a combination of knowledge of the precinct that they are in and how to zero in on those known shooters and gang bangers.
Ashley.
Good afternoon.
How are you? Good to see you.
How you doing?
Mhm.
I wanted to ask kind of a double question. First, you mentioned 31 arrests. I'm wondering, out of a pool of how many stops conducted over that 6-day period. And then I noticed that there's no one here from either the CCRB or the monitor's office. So I'm wondering what the oversight portion of this looks like to make sure that these stops are properly documented, recorded, and that they're